Shane here with ROA Off-Road. I'm super excited. Today, I'm going to be doing a full in-depth walkthrough on the all-new Reboots built by Paz or Palomino.
America. A land of boundless horizons, rugged terrain, and the spirit of adventure woven into its very fabric. From coast to coast, across mountains, deserts, and forests, the heart of this great nation beats with the rhythm of exploration. Throughout history, manufacturing has been the backbone of America. It's the pulse of progress, the engine of innovation. From the assembly lines that forged our automobiles to the factories that built our skyscrapers, it's the hands and minds of American workers that have shaped our destiny. And now from the heartland of America emerges a new beacon of adventure. Introducing the all-new Reboot built by Paz, built to conquer the rugged terrain of our nation and beyond. Crafted with precision and passion, the Reboot is more than a vehicle. It's a testament to American ingenuity and the pursuit of freedom. With its robust design and cutting-edge features, it's ready to take you off the beaten path and into the unknown. Experience the spirit of adventure. Embrace the call of the wild. This is the Reboot, built in America.
Today, there's going to be a lot of detail, so get ready. You can see there's two units behind me right now. We got a white, this is a high gloss fiberglass, and then we have a matte tan. That is an option that you can add. The cool thing about the new Reboots versus the Pazes that you've already seen in the market for the last year or so is those are the premium luxury editions. You buy it and you get it the way it comes and it's fully loaded. These units, they have a different price point and you can buy them pretty basic all the way up to a lot of features on them. Your option range is about $30,000. The manufactured list price, you can go down below and check out. We have options, we have pricing on everything, but it is a different price point. And I'm going to be going through these, kind of pointing out a lot of differences on these and kind of showcase the features. I'm also going to go over the options, and that's the reason why I have two units sitting behind me, because one of them is a base model and the other one is a fully loaded model. But one of the options right off the bat is you can choose white with a gloss fiberglass exterior, or you can do the fiberglass with a tan matte exterior. Not one of these is necessarily fully loaded or not. That's just the option that was chosen. So you can get a fully loaded white unit, or you can get a fully loaded tan unit, or you can get a base white or a base tan. So I want to start with doing a quick walk around the trailer just to kind of get the orientation and the layout of the trailer. One of the things that I really love about this trailer is this has been quite a collaboration between Maynard and myself, in that I've been telling him this is probably one of the most popular floor plans that we could build for the off-road industry, and he has pretty much done it. So right here you have a little window here, and this is right to the right of the main queen walk-around bed. Right here, this window is your dinette area inside, and that is a booth that will fit 4 people, 6 feet long, so you can sleep an adult or have a family of 4 sitting at that booth. Right here, where in the back, we have the bathroom window, and that window is just behind the toilet area. And then coming over to this side, you have all this area is the kitchen area. And then right here, you have another window, and that's on the other side of the bed area. And this does have a north-south facing bed, and there's options on the beds, and I'll get into that in a little bit. And then coming up here, we have a front window, and that's at the headboard of the bed area. But I want to actually go inside first and show some of the features on the inside, and then we'll come back out and go into more depth on the exterior and the construction and the specs. So stay tuned for that. But let's head on inside. Okay, here we are inside the all-new 19.4 Reboot. Now 19 is the length of the box, the 0.4 is how many it sleeps, and that's good for all the pause lineups. So the 0.4, this unit does sleep 4 people, and your first bed is up in this area, the front of the trailer, and it is a north-south bed. And the second bed is the booth area, and you can easily sleep 4 people in this trailer. The booth area is large enough to sleep 2 adults. Ideally, it's more comfortable for 2 kids. And then right here, we do have a queen size bed. It is an 80 by 60 bed, which means it will fit a standard queen mattress. To me, this is very important because when I'm out camping, I want to have a good night's sleep. And the mattress that Pause gives you is very nice. It's a 6-inch foam mattress and it's very comfortable. I've slept on it, but some people have preferences of their mattresses. Some people love purples or Tempur-Pedics or whatever it is. So in this configuration, you could remove the mattress and you could put any mattress you want. And that's really cool. I love that feature because I personally would put my own mattress that I prefer in here to sleep in. Now this is going to be your standard option that you get with the Pause, and it's just a flatbed platform where you can put any mattress on it. There is another option that you can option in for something different, and we'll go over and take a look at that and show you the option. Okay, here we are in the other unit that has an option lift bed. So this is there's an electric motor under here that lifts the bed up. Now this mattress, it is similar to the other one. The only difference is there is a little fold right here. So when it lifts up, it folds down. So keep that in mind. This will not work with a standard mattress. You'll have to have the special mattress that's designed for this bed. So if you prefer your own mattress, you definitely won't want to do this. But this is very comfortable. I've slept in it. I even put a foam topper in it and it still moved up and folded over, part of the thing. But there's a button over here. And so you can use this as a couch and lounge here and use your reading lights, or you can press the button and you'll watch this drop down. Okay, so as you can see now, it is dropped down into the bed position, and here's your bed. The nice thing about the couch position is you're gonna have a little bit more room to walk in here when it's in the up position. Even in the down position, you have a good amount of space to walk through this area. You just walk through here and you'll rub a little bit against it, but it's not much. So that is the difference between the beds in both of the Reboots, and those are the options that you have. Now let's talk about that booth, that area where this was a huge important thing to me. I constantly talk to Maynard about, we need a booth where we can comfortably sit 4 people. And well, he did it in the new Reboot. So let's check out the booth area. Come check this out. This is the booth in the Reboot. It is a 4-person booth. I mean, you can see there's plenty of space for another adult. Easily a family of 4 can sit in this. This is the standard table that you get. The upgraded table I'll show you in just a little bit. Other than the table and what it's mounted on, they're both the same. Same cushions, same material. This does turn into a bed, so I'll show you how that works. The other one over there is a little bit easier to set up into a bed, is because it's just a lever and it just drops. This one you got to pull the poles out and drop it down. But I'll show you how that works really quick. It is large enough, like I said, for an adult. It's 6 feet long by 38 inches wide. Just measured myself, I'm about 19 inches wide. So there you go. If I sleep on my side, I can easily sleep 2 adults here. Children will be very comfortable in this booth. So let's take off all of our dishes, because obviously you don't want to sleep with dishes on the bed. So you're just gonna pull this and this will just lift right out. And you'll move this to the side for a second. These pulls have a little twist. You just untwist them and they pop right out. And you can just set them down here. And then underneath this area, you'll see these lips. And essentially what happens is the table slides right there. And then of course, the other side slides down right there. And then you'll grab these cushions on the backrest, and they're Velcroed in so they don't fall down when you're driving off-road. And there you have it. Nice comfy bed. For perspective,
Let's see it. 6'2" for reference.
there you go.
Here you go.
Gotta spread your legs a little bit. Now, do you sleep on your back?
I'm
Do a side.
probably a side sleeper.
Yeah, you're a side sleeper. Yeah, we are family, just so you know. And I would definitely go like this, sleep this way. How do you feel?
I got room. Yeah.
I'm not even, yeah, I'm barely touching, and I'm fully stretched out. There you have
I
it.
haven't got a pillow. I can't. My heel is not touching.
So it's wide enough you can both sleep on your back.
Yeah, we can both sleep on our back if you do foot to, which is how I would do it. I'd sleep like this. There you have it. Okay, how'd you sleep?
Excellent.
They-
I might go back.
Go back to bed. Well, let's jump over to the other booth. I'll show you that. They're pretty much the same, little bit difference just on the table area. So let's head over there. Okay, as you can see, the table is a little bit different in this one opposed to the other one. The other one is the base option. This costs a little bit more to upgrade. This is a nice wood. This is a real wood. That other table was a pressed board. And also the mounting post that it sits on is it's a hydraulic lift. It's a little bit more heavy duty, robust. You know, obviously this is a beautiful table, but if you're just trying to, you know, save a little bit of money here and there, it's really easy to justify just using the other table, and they both work the same. They both are going to turn down into a bed, and you're going to be able to easily sleep, 2 kids here. And I mean, like, it really, once again, look how much space there is here. This is a big booth. And that was something that I told Maynard, like, we got to make it wider. We need to make this trailer a little bit wider than the other models just to be able to allow that larger booth. And, well, just like always, Pause delivers. So, and there you have it. That is your sleeping arrangements. And it's as you can see, there's a lot of comfort in this trailer, from the larger booth to the queen size bed, the ability to walk around it, the ability to choose your own mattress, or to have that couch, the electric lift bed. So there's a lot of different options and features in the Reboot, and this is just the beginning. But let's move on into the bathroom, and there are options even in the bathroom for you to choose. So let's go and do that right now. Okay, let's move on. You ready for this crap? Come on back into the bathroom. This bathroom is quite large. The fact that I can stand in here and not be like hitting into something is quite astonishing for a trailer this size. We have a toilet, we have a shower, and it's separate, right? So we're not in a wet bath. This is a full dry bath. The counter space and the storage in here is plentiful. I don't think you'll ever run out of space in here. These are massive countertops. You do have some outlets. We have an outlet over here. We've been talking about adding an option for a washer and dryer in this vicinity just because there's so much space. Why not? The storage area is just, it's crazy. This is a perfect spot for your toiletries. These are pretty deep for other miscellaneous goods. Sink right here. We have a basin. I just love the black and the white that they've done. This countertop, there are a few different options in the bathroom as well as the kitchen, but I'll focus on the bathroom for now. And I'm going to show you first. We are in the base bathroom right now. So your base unit, this is a like a Formica material, and the upgraded is a solid surface countertops, and I'll show you that in a bit. And one of the things I do want to point out is the shower. This is a very comfortable shower to get into, and this is the base shower, and this is a PVC enclosure. You can see it's not actual real fiberglass. The upgraded version is fiberglass, and I'll show you that in a bit. This one is a little bit larger than the fiberglass just because the fiberglass sticks out a little bit further. But everybody always wants to know, if you're showering, you drop some soap, can you pick up the soap? We'll pretend this is my soap. And so if I'm showering in here and I drop my soap on the floor, am I able to bend over and pick it up? That's very important to know because sometimes that happens. Soap is slippery, generally known for being slippery. There you have it. 6 feet tall. A little bit on the heavy side, and I can bend over in the shower without an issue. This bar does also kind of have a little bit of a curve in here, so it's going to be comfortable to shower. Do remember, you're camping. This isn't your house. I do like that they have some little storage areas where you can obviously put your bar of soap while you're showering. And then let's step out and do our next test, bathroom test. This is the soap drop test. The next one is the spread your legs test. So let's check that out. Okay, so now let's sit down on the toilet. And the question is it large enough for you to, spread your legs? It is. There is so much space in this bathroom. This toilet is massive. It is also porcelain. I don't know if you can hear that. So it is your beautiful throne, porcelain throne. Now here at ROA, one of the things I do want to mention is we do offer a lot of upgrades here. And this is standard, is a black tank. So it's just a standard toilet with a black tank below it. And some people are used to that. They prefer that. But here at ROA, we always are trying to make sure that you can option the trailer to what you want. And so we have had a lot of people ask for different types of toilets. Like if you're full timing, some people prefer like a composting toilet because you can stay off grid essentially forever and you don't have to dump them as frequently. So we can easily remove this, put a composting toilet in here. There's also dry flush toilets where they, you know, wrap up your doo-doo and you can throw it away. There's a lot of different options out there. So if you don't want a black tank, let us know and then we can option it for a different toilet. One thing I want to point out here is you do have a toilet paper holder right here and then just crazy amount of storage. This storage right here, underneath here you have access panels and these are handles that you can actually pull and you can gain access to your components behind here. Right here you can see there's a lot of storage and it's very deep. It's almost the entire depth of this entire countertop. Coming over to here, you have some extra storage. This is probably where I'd throw some towels or toilet paper. And then once again, you have that handle. You use this to pull to be able to access behind there. And then the last thing is these storage compartments are massive. This thing is like the entire, okay. Oh, there we go. I touched it. And that's with my fingers stretched out. So the entire length of this shower, you'll be able to put lots of stuff in there. I love the little attentions to detail. Like over here, we have a towel rack holder. You might think, obviously, but you'd be surprised how often manufacturers forget to do towel rack holders. Also, you have little hand towel holders right here. And then a full-size mirror. You're in the mirror. What are you doing in the mirror? I'm just kidding.
I saw myself for a second.
I'm just joking. And then of course you have a massive mirror. And I've had some people complain over the years, right? Sometimes trailers they'll put upper cabinet storage. And if you're 6 feet and the cabinet's right there, you can't see yourself. You got to bend over to shave or do anything. So there you have it. You have lots of lighting, really nice size mirror. Above here we do have a vent fan. This is a max vent fan. And it is electric, so you turn it on and you just manually crank it open. I am pointing these things out because there is an upgraded option where it's all electronically controlled, where you press a button and it automatically opens. We're gonna go jump into the other unit that has the upgraded shower, has the upgraded countertops, the upgraded fan, so you can kind of get a feel for what that looks like. Here we are in the upgraded Reboot bathroom. And there are a few different upgrades. Number one is the countertops in here. They're not the Formica, they're the solid surface countertops. So it definitely is gonna add a little bit of weight to the trailer, but it's very premium feeling. I love it. This area right here is massive. If you have a family of 4 and one of them is a little baby, you'd easily have space to throw down a changing table and change the baby's diaper right here. This thing has tons and tons of storage. Coming over here into the shower area, this is the molded fiberglass shower. It is a little bit smaller than the other one just because some of these posts and stuff here, or because of this going down all the way down. But very nice, feels much more premium feeling in my opinion. But I like both. The solid surface countertops are very nice. The last thing that you're gonna see in the upgraded bathroom would be the fantastic vent fan. That other one, you had to manually crank up and then press a button here. This one does work from the Garmin system. It's integrated into it where you press a button and it will automatically open and then you turn the fan on. Also something I want to point out is these are the Max Air vent fans. So they do have a cover over them. So if it is raining outside, these can stay open and create airflow. And that's really good for condensation or just to keep the moisture out or down. Also something else that I wanted to point out, there is a nice little pocket door here on both of the units, and there's a latch right here that locks it in, so you can close this off and have your privacy while going to the bathroom while doing your business. And also a lot of nice lighting, all the rope lighting. You have some can lights. So Very, very well lit throughout the entire trailer. Now I want to move on to the kitchens. The kitchens are pretty much identical besides the solid surface, but let's head on over to the kitchens and showcase that. Okay, let's move into the kitchen area. Very good sized kitchen, lots of counter space. First, I want to talk about this fridge. This is a 12-volt refrigerator, runs about 12 amps, and it's 10.7 cubic feet. It's very deep. You can see this soda pot. This is a 12-pack of soda, and it's going in all the way like that. One of my favorite features about this fridge is if I'm on the toilet and I get really thirsty, I can open it up from this side and I can grab myself a drink, whatever you prefer, and then you can stay on the toilet and not even move. So the nice little feature, of course you have a freezer. It's a massive freezer. I mean, like, this is like tons and tons of space in this fridge and freezer. Moving over from the fridge and freezer, we have a Greystone. This is a combo. This is a convection oven and microwave. It's a 1.1 cubic foot microwave oven. So this will actually, it's all metal, so it will cook like an oven. So you could bake cookies or burritos in there, or you can just use it as an actual microwave and heat stuff up really fast. You also have this 3-burner. This is a glass. This is just for extra prep space, so you can have it down and utilize the counter space. This is a really nice large stove cooktop, and these are 8,000 BTU burners a piece. Got the lights on and be able to automatic ignite. Above here we have the Furrion, which is a hood vent or a light. Moving over here, we have a very good sized countertop. You do have some outlets that you can be able to plug in, also USB ports to charge stuff. And then moving farther down, you have your sink and a spray nozzle that you can move around, residential style. And this is a pretty deep stainless steel sink as well. Of course, nice lighting throughout. You have the lighting above the stove, you have the lighting here. Of course, along the top, you have nice lighting. And all of these cabinets are very deep. It's hard to tell, but this is very large. I would probably put some mats down just to kind of, keep stuff from moving around. But this is a massive storage compartment for your food or dishes or whatever else you want. Moving down here, we have drawers all the way down, and they are pretty deep. You can see right there. I want to point out this one. This is kind of like a pot and pan drawer. And then, of course, you have storage underneath the kitchen, and it is just massive. Like, there is so much storage in this kitchen, and of course everything is a soft close. The only difference between this kitchen, this is the upgraded Corian countertops with the full wall backsplash. If you don't want to do the upgraded Corian, you can save a little bit of weight and go with the Formica. And it's a white. It actually looks very nice. I like the look of it, but this definitely has a more premium feel to it. One thing I do want to mention on this trailer right now, whether it's fully loaded or totally base, Paz is going to change out the cabinetry. So you can see there's a gray tone here, and it's going to be flat panels, and they're going to have locking latches. So fortunately, this is kind of the very first prototype. When we were out with Maynard, he came out to Utah, and we just took these things out. We off-roaded them, we test them out, and he said, hey, I want to hear all your feedback and what things do you want changed, if anything, right? And at the end of the day, we went back and forth. We reached out to a lot of the people in our network and also people like you guys watching the video, and we kind of did a vote, and everybody said that though the wood cabinets, this is solid real wood cabinets, is very nice, everybody wanted maybe a little bit more modern look. So they are going away with this cabinetry, this is real solid wood, and they're going to do a flat cabinet, and it will fill in all the gaps, and they'll have some locking latches, and it will be a white veneer. So it's going to be a little bit more modern looking, and I think it's pretty. And then the lower portion will be just similar to what you're seeing here right now. So we should have videos where we can showcase that, hopefully B-roll over that stuff, and you'll be able to see that. So besides that, the unit that I'm showing you today is exactly how all the Pause models are going to come. But I just love Pause and Maynard and how they're so receptive and so quick to listen to feedback. And honestly, if they never changed any of this, I would be super happy with this trailer, because it is this cabinetry that you see, this solid wood cabinetry, is what you see in very high-end premium $150,000 fifth wheels. And so this is not by any means not premium. We just wanted a little bit of a more modern style look. And so they're doing it for us. So thank you, Pause, thank you, Maynard, and everybody else that's involved in doing that. But this is your kitchen, and of course a little bit change on the cabinets in the production models coming right now. And these units are available to order right now, so go down below, click on the link. There is a brochure, talks about the options, the cost and everything. And if you do want to put in an order, reach out to us and you can be one of the first to be able to get one of these Reboots. Now that we know a little bit more about the kitchen inside, let's go to the outside kitchen options, because there's going to be two options, one done by Pause and one done exclusively through ROA Off-Road. Okay, here we have the outside kitchen. You have a Suburban, and this is a propane 2-burner cooktop. It does have an electric igniter. Right here we have a pull out, and let me show what goes into that hole. So there's a little storage compartment back here, and you just bring this here and the sink goes in. And then this is a really cool design that Maynard had built specifically for him. And it just goes in, and then you just twist, and then you have water right there. And it also has hot water. And then you can, wash your hands or your dishes. You can just put that right there. And like I mentioned earlier, in the bathroom, there's a ton of space to change your baby's diaper. If it has a blowout, you bring it out here and you can spray it off. And also, I really like the window right here. We were actually, when we were camping in it, somebody was inside in the kitchen, and they were passing stuff through the window. So we were setting it out here and prepping for dinner as we were cooking outside. So pretty cool little kitchen. This is an option. If you buy just a base model, you won't actually have this kitchen. Now there is another exclusive ROA kitchen option, and I'm going to show that to you right now where that will sit. Okay, because of this storage area being so massive, we actually have an option here at ROA for the kitchen, and this is the Roamer kitchen. And this kitchen we've gone into great depth to design and build this kitchen. It's very cool. It comes on one of the exclusive trailers we sell, and we're also adding it to the Reboot. Some of the things that I like about it is the sink is super deep. It's built in, like it's all plumbed, so you don't have to plug in the sink or anything. Also, same thing with the propane. You have a grill, and it puts out a lot of BTU. You can cook steaks, eggs on it. Also, the discharge where you drain out the water, it comes in the back, and there's a little, this connection is a standard garden hose connection, so you can be able to plug it in and run it away from you. And instead, most kitchen designs, they usually have the drain on the bottom of the kitchen, so you got to crawl under. This is right out the back, so you can just plug in and be able to drain easily out the back. Just a lot of little attentions to details. And of course, we have some extra storage in the front area where you can open up and be able to have some space to put some spices or cooking utensils. The tray that this thing sits on is actually designed for fire trucks. Has 1,000-pound weight capacity, so you don't need a leg or anything for support. This thing will support well, anything you can put on this. Unless you're cooking 1,000-pound steaks, you're gonna be okay. There you have it. Boom. Boom. Okay, I mentioned storage a few times, and this unit does have a lot of storage. First off, I want to point out the storage right here. It is insane. It's so much storage, right? And I mentioned earlier that we can do a slide out tray in here. Obviously we can do the kitchen, lots of space in here, and we can option it how you want it. Let's head up to the front of the trailer. Right here, there's also a little secret storage compartment up here. Maybe throw some rope, some recovery gear, some straps, just a nice little spot to have some extra stuff. Of course, this is storage as well. This is just for your propane. Now in the base model, you can also put larger propane tanks in here. The upgraded MORryde suspension, the air compressor goes right there, or the tank for the air compressor goes right here, so it takes up most of that space. Let me show you on the other unit. So this unit has the onboard air, and that's the tank right there. So obviously that takes away that space to be able to do the bigger tanks. The Truma is the main thing that you're going to use the propane for, the furnace and the water heater, and it's pretty efficient, and the insulation is really good on these trailers, so I don't think you're going to be needing larger tanks. Let's move to the back area, and I want to show off a little storage compartment back there. Okay, here we have a little storage compartment back here, and that's kind of where we've been putting the sink and the stuff for the outside kitchen. A little extra compartment storage there. Also, you do have this massive rail back here where you could potentially stow or strap some stuff to here, maybe a bike rack or some other miscellaneous goods. But let's head on inside and show off the inside storage. Okay, so headed inside, you can look down below the bed. They do have some nice drawers right here for your clothing, socks, shoes, underwear, and there's 4 of these, and they're all pretty large and deep. And then they all have soft clothes as well. Coming over here, I really like this space. You can open this up and you have a massive storage closet. These are hangers. Those are full-size hangers. And you could probably put 30 or 40 shirts in here, longer dresses too. And then back behind, it is super deep. There's a little cubby and a shelf up here. So you could stuff a little suitcase down in there. And then also over there, it might be hard to capture in the camera, but this is a massive storage compartment. You could put a little bin down in there. It's almost large enough. I also appreciate above here. These are very deep. They have those suitcase traveling bags where you can kind of organize things and slide them in there, and that goes the entire length of the trailer, and it all goes all the way back there. So tons of storage in this area. You also have some little cubbies up here by the bed, and then an outlet down there where you can plug in your cell phone and charge it while you're out. Moving above the booth area, you can look over here. Lots of storage throughout all the way across here, and just lots of space for food or dishware. Now underneath the booth, there's not storage. That's where all your batteries and your electronic components reside, and I will show that to you later. But I mentioned already as I went through the kitchen all the storage in there and the storage in the bathroom. But I would say for a trailer this size, you will not be lacking any space for storage. Even that storage area over by the wardrobe area, you could put a rack and have all your shoes sitting right there, right by the entry door, which is really nice. Okay, we've answered a lot of the questions that the ladies want to hear. Now I want to move on to some of the things that the guys enjoy, and that's electronics, components, power, because we're talking off-road, off-grid trailers, so we got to know what type of power systems these have. And there are a lot of different options. And I'm going to start with solar, and I'm going to start from the base, and then we're going to work our way up to the max solar package. So let's go check out what we have stock base model without any upgrades. Here we are up on the roof on top of the Reboot. And if you look down here, we have 2 100-watt solar panels for a total of 200 watts. Now, calm yourself down for a second. I understand that that's not a crazy amount of power, but that's why we have options with the Reboot, and we're gonna show you what it is fully upgraded, fully loaded. So as you can see up here, this is a fully loaded, and this is 800 watts on the roof. One of the important things is also, this is all attached to the actual track up here, which is elevated above the roof. So you have a gap underneath all of these panels, so you get some nice airflow. It's the most efficient way to do solar panels. 800 on the roof. And if you want to, you can also, if you choose to do the fully loaded, it comes with 2 briefcase panels, and adds another 600 watts for a total of 1,400 watts of solar on the fully loaded edition. So crazy amount of power, enough to be able to run the air conditioner if you go with the max solar and battery system. So let's go downstairs and let's talk about the batteries and all the electronic components that work in tandem with these solar panels. Okay, solar is no good if you don't have the right components that operate and turn that solar into something. Now, if you look down here, this was something that, you know, Maynard and I talked back and forth on, because the pause units, the current pause units, are just top of the line premium. So I thought, well, Maynard, you know, in the reboots, since we're trying to get the price down a little bit, it is about optimizing a unique floor plan, a more popular floor plan, but it was also trying to get the price down a bit. So I said, are you gonna cheapen up and go with something not as nice as Victron? Because Victron's most expensive, most premium stuff on the market. And he just said, Shane, I can't do it. I feel like that's so important. It's so vital for people to have a good experience. They need Victron even in everything pause related. So here we have it. We got that beautiful blue Victron right here. Comes stock with a 3,000 watt inverter. You come over here, you have all of the different connections. You have the MPPT solar charge controllers. This, you have your roof solar, and then you have your briefcase solar. You have a 12 DC to DC charger right here, and then you also have your servo, and that's to be able to remote into it. It has a SIM card, so you can be able to get connected. Of course, everything's neatly put together, and you got all your breakers and fuses in here. Also, this entire compartment is ventilated, has fans on both sides, so it's able to cool this off, this area, if things heat up too much. And I just love the attention to detail, the little pause emblems that they use throughout. This system is the exact same system that you're going to see in the least expensive base model Reboot all the way to a fully loaded Reboot. The one thing that you will see that will change from base model and you can upgrade it is the battery system. So let's go over and look at the batteries in here. So down here we have the game changer. These are the 3.0 Battleborns. These are 270 amp hour lithium ion batteries. And everybody knows Battleborn is super reputable, known for being one of the best batteries in the industry, all Battleborn. So you can option this system from 270 all the way up to 1,080 amp hours of Battleborn lithium, which is pretty crazy. And that will allow you to run the air conditioner off grid. So let's jump into the other unit. We'll show off the upgraded battery bank and also some of the important components and electronics that you use to operate all of this system together. So if you come into the larger battery bank system, as you can see, it fills up the entire compartment and it is a massive battery bank. We've been running the air conditioner off grid for maybe 45 minutes. So we just turned it on for lunch and we're hanging out in here and it was nice and cold. It's incredible. This is a massive battery bank. And if you do upgrade to the larger solar system, it does make sense to have that larger battery bank and have that all controlled via the Victron through Garmin. I want to talk a little bit about the Garmin system because it is pretty cool. The pause units have the Garmin system. The Reboots also have Garmin. It's a little bit different. It doesn't have as many features as the pause, but it's also very, very cool. And it gives you the ability to operate everything like your TV, off-grid, and all the different things that you're going to want to use. So let me show you that. Okay, here we are at the Garmin Command Center. And at first this might look a little overwhelming, but it really isn't. It's very simple. You have your home button, and this kind of gives you a shortcut to a lot of things, but you can go and click on your lights, and you see living room lights. You just press it, and you can dim it, or you can just double click it, or you can go outside lights, front lights. You got an amber light, and that's for the bugs outside, white doors. You can go all on, all off. You go into your water system. You can see we have a full tank of water because we filled it up before coming out here because we're camping. And we got our gray tank, our black tank, You got heated tanks, you got water heater, you got water pump. Everything is super easy to turn on. And you go to this little picture of a lightning bolt. That's all your Victron. Currently, we're getting 15 amps of power coming from the solar, and it's sending it to our battery bank, and our battery bank is at 98%. It's really cool. You know, you're able to really see everything. The inverter's turned on, so it's giving us power to all of our outlets, including our air conditioning system. If you want to turn on your air conditioner, you just go to the home page and you click climate controls, and you just go to cool AC. You set your temperature right there. So down, set it to 70, 68 degrees, and you have your inside temperature of 73 degrees. You have your outside temperature of 68 degrees. Really easy to operate everything on here. And of course, you just click it. You got a dehumidifier, or you can go off. This is controlling the Truma system. I'll talk about the components because there are different options or upgrades on the components, and that will be different from the base to the fully loaded unit. But this is the Garmin. You can go into your airbag systems. You can control your airbags. Obviously, that's another upgrade that you can add is your suspension. And if you get the unit without the suspension, the air suspension, you won't have this, obviously. And then at nighttime, if you want it dark, you just turn off the screen and then it will go dark. Yeah, of course, you can turn your inverter on, and then that inverter on, when you turn it on, that, like I mentioned, turns on your power outlets, your air conditioner, your television, which I want to talk a little bit about this TV. It is a smart TV, so if you're connected to a Starlink or Wi-Fi, you do have a 5G cellular cell phone booster on top of this, a line guard, and that will allow you to connect into Wi-Fi services at like campgrounds, but it will also allow you to get a cellular network and be able to have internet into the trailer. Or if you want to hook up a Starlink system, here at ROA, we have some connections, Starlink connections, where you can have it set up into the trailer. And then you can be able to run this off-grid anywhere, wherever Starlink can get you service. I haven't measured it, but it looks like you could probably fit a 50-inch TV in this space and be able to have that for your viewing pleasure. Now that we've talked a little bit about the Garmin system, the electronics that control and power everything up, I do want to move into the components. And these components are the things that you're going to want for everyone on board, from your water heater to your air conditioning and your furnace. And there are different options. So I'm going to start with the base options and then move to the upgraded options. So let's get into components. Okay, here we are on the outside. You have a little compartment door right here, and behind this door is your hookups for your water, your city water or your freshwater tank, also your flushes. This is the Nautilus P4. This gives you ability to easily winterize your trailer or fill your tanks. Also, you have a pass-through down here that you can run your hoses through here during cold weather. This system is the base system, and I'm going to be talking about the components now. Both of the units, all the Reboots have this door in this area right here to hook up everything. Now, some of the options that you have as far as components go are going to be your water heater and your furnace. And depending on the system that you do, if you go for the upgraded components, it also is the winter package. So if you go base components, you will not have a Four Seasons trailer. So this is your base Suburban on-demand water heater. Okay, since we filmed this video, we actually talked with Maynard while we were in Moab and said, we don't really like this water heater, and it would be much better if we had a tank, because this Suburban, essentially you are always waiting for the water to go from cold to hot, and the second you turn it off, it goes cold again. So he actually switched this out with a tank, and it's a 6-gallon water heater now. The cool thing about this is now if the water gets to the spigot, you can turn it off and turn it back on and still have that hot water to be able to conserve while you're taking showers or doing the dishes. Much, much better, and just another, showcase of how incredible Pause is and how quick they are to listen to feedback and make improvements on the trailer. And that's your water heater. The upgraded version is a little bit different, and I'll show that to you in just a little bit. But over here, this is your Suburban furnace, and this is a single outlet. It goes into the cabin and it heats up the trailer very nicely. So let's head inside and I'll show off these components on the inside and talk about them a little bit more. When you come inside, down here, this is the furnace. I mentioned you have a single outlet, so this is where the heat blasts out, and it does heat up this trailer very nice. We slept in this for a few days and it was extremely cold, 30, 40 degrees in the night, and the whole trailer stayed nice and warm. It was snowing outside, so this keeps the trailer nice and toasty throughout the entire cabin. And in this unit we have the standard air conditioning, and this is a Coleman Mach air conditioner, and it's a 13,500 BTU air conditioning unit. And all of these systems are operated through the Garmin on this unit. Now I want to step over into the other unit because we have the upgraded components and also the 4 Seasons winter package as well. So the upgraded version of your water heater is going to be the Truma AquaGo. This one's a little bit different because this is an on-demand instant hot water heater. So it has a built-in pump where it actually circulates the water throughout the trailer. So when you turn it on, it's not instant like right as soon as you turn on the water, but it takes a matter of a second or 2 or 3, and then that water is circulating in there and it's hot and it's right at the tap. It's instant right at the tap when you're turning it on and off. And when you're trying to take a really efficient fast shower, this thing is amazing. Moving back, we have the Truma furnace, and this is the Vario Heat. I'm gonna go inside and show how this is installed because it's installed much different than the standard option is. Okay, so coming into the unit, the first thing I want to point out is the furnace. This is a Truma system. So you're going to just click on that little picture of the RV and you're going to engage it and turn the heat on. Now I mentioned there's a lot of different features on this that you're not going to get with that standard unit because all it is set your temp and go. This actually, you can put it on timers, you can have an offset. So just a lot of cool different features. You can look up on Truma and learn more about that. But this unit is ducted. So I mentioned earlier, it is a 4 Seasons package. Now, both of the units, whether you get the base standard model or you get a fully loaded, you're gonna have heated pads on all of the trailers. And of course, all the plumbing is inside of the trailer. It's not below the trailer. So generally they're gonna be good in cold weather no matter what. But if you go for the 4 Seasons option, you're gonna have heat ducted throughout the trailer. One of the first places you'll see the ducting is coming down close to the foot of the bed and pushing out right there. And then you'll come back here, and this is another heat duct right here, and you can kind of move it around and position it into blow in different directions. And then coming over here, this is your actual cold air intake. On the other unit, it just comes out right here as a single outlet. And then if you move back into the bathroom, you have another heat duct right here. And like I said, you can kind of angle it to shoot up at the toilet and keep the toilet nice and warm. And that will keep your bum very warm while you're doing your business. And that is it's very cool that you have it all ducted. And obviously that's going to distribute the heat throughout the trailer much better. But also that ducting is running to various parts of the trailer and creating some radiant heat along your plumbing lines and preventing it from freezing, also going down into your tank so you have heat going down there, and it's distributing the heat very well so you have a very warm, cozy trailer in cold weather. Now the last thing I want to point out is the Truma Aventa, and this is an upgraded unit from the Coleman Mach. This unit is 13,500 BTUs, and it is much quieter than the standard AC unit. And that's definitely one of the biggest benefits that you're going to see from this unit. Also a built-in dehumidifier as well. And this is all operated through the Garmin system as well. And there you have it for all the components in the Reboots, from the standard or the base all the way up to the upgraded components. Some of the things that when you look to buy a Reboot, some of the options are, that's what they are, they're options. Other ones are more like upgrades. And I would definitely say, as far as like the water heaters and the furnaces, like if you're not needing a 4 Seasons trailer, it might make sense to just stick with the standard options. But if you need a 4 Seasons trailer, you're gonna wanna upgrade the components. But there are some things, in my opinion, like the electric lift bed, I would probably stick with the standard bed because I want my own personal mattress. I wouldn't call that an upgrade, I would just call it an option. Air conditioning, Truma is definitely a premium brand, and I would consider that an upgrade. It's quieter. But there's a lot of different options and choices. A lot of people want to be able to get a good quality built off-road trailer, and Pause is delivering that to the market without totally breaking the bank completely by giving you ability to choose options. Some people go out camping and they say they never use the air conditioner because they camp high up in the mountains. And in that case, maybe you don't need to go with the upgraded air conditioning system. So there you have it. That is the components. The next thing I want to move on to is some of the off-road features and the construction and how it's built. Okay, I want to talk a little bit about the all-new MORryde hitch. This is a 2 5/16 ball, so it's the largest ball that you can get for a truck to tow with. And of course, because it's a standard ball, like any ball you're going to have in America for your truck, you're able to use a weight distribution hitch on this right here, or you can have an adjustable hitch, a 3-way hitch that rotates to different sizes. So if you have a boat and has a 2.5 inch or 2 inch, you can tow that and then you can rotate it and do your 2 5/16 hitch. This is a one of the kind in the world. Australia has a smaller ball hitch. It's only rated for like 5,000 pounds. This hitch is rated for 21,000 pounds. The trailer doesn't weigh 21,000 pounds, but it is definitely robust and overkill, if anything. Really cool though, this locks in. If you tighten this, it has a lock-in position, so it actually can't rotate side to side or up and down. So this is for the pitch or into going into a ditch. The side to side is for your camber. So if the truck is driving and it hits some side and the trailer goes to the side, you know, you're gonna have, it's all gonna move in the hitch area. So what you do is you just open this up and this is gonna slide back, and then also locks in the down position. And then when you're off-roading, you're going to be able to twist side to side, and then this will go up and down with the weight of the truck. It moves and articulates in every direction. Australians have been doing similar hitches like this, the Cruise Masters, the Mick hitches, but this is really truly a one of a kind, made in America by MORryde. I really like it. At first I was uncertain, but now that they've made it in articulating in all directions, I really think that's cool. And also, I really like that I could use my Rhino hitch or my Reese, my distribution hitch. And then when you do get on the highway, you can lock it in and it's not going to be moving around. And other articulating hitches will always be moving around. But I don't think they tow, it's necessarily bad. But you also do have your safety chains. There's also a spot for them to be stowed, but you do have your chains right there. You have your 7-pin connection, and this will charge your batteries while you're driving. This is hooked up to the DC to DC charger, so you'll be able to actually charge the lithium batteries right off of your 7-pin, and then have your chains kind of stowed right here as well as that has a spot. Now this is a rectangular hollow stud aluminum. It all is huck riveted. So all of these aluminum pieces go through a machine at MORryde, a CNC machine, and they're all cut perfectly every single time by the computer. There's no manual cutting, so there's not that human error that's going to get involved into the frame and its construction. It is then all huck riveted together, so you're not going to have, you know, spotting on the welds. I'm not a metal guy, but I understand the concept. A lot of people joke in the industry that, you know, if it's on a Friday or a Monday trailer, you know, depending on how the guy felt, all of this is going through machines and operated. So you have a lot of that systems that you're not going to have a lot of human error involved in this frame. Very strong, very robust. Obviously, aluminum is never going to rust. Aluminum doesn't rust like steel will. And I think that's very important. This is a type of galvanization, so that will also stand up to the elements. Just below here, we do have an electric front tongue jack, and you have a button over here that you can control it with. So easy to unhook and hook up onto your truck. To me, I'm all about conveniences. When I'm out camping, I want to just be able to get to camp, unhook my truck, and start enjoying myself. Now, if you're one of those types of people and it's worth it to you, also you would want the air suspension, because that's going to be the fastest and quickest and easiest way to level your trailer. If you want to save a little bit of money and still have an independent suspension, you would go with the suspension that's on this unit right now. This suspension is a rubber shear spring. It does articulate up and down around 5 inches, and that's pretty standard for any off-road trailer. 5 to 6 inches is kind of like best in class, unless you're talking, you know, the premium pause with the MORryde suspension or a brooder. Then you might be talking 10 to 12 inches of travel. But generally, 5 is kind of a good standard, and MORryde has done that with this. This does have a gas shock with that rubber shear spring, and it does articulate up and down independent of each other. So you do have that smoother ride, and we've seen this in action in Moab. The very first time I saw it, I was like, I'm not sure about that. And as I saw it going down the trail, you could definitely see that it was articulating and moving, and it wasn't sending as much shock up into the trailer. As much is the key, because the MORryde, the air suspension, definitely was sending much less. That suspension just travels insane. But this suspension is really, really good. And it's also like, I think like $10,000 cheaper. So if you're trying to get into something that's still really good, really well built off-road trailer, you go with this suspension. You're still gonna have your aluminum frame, your huck riveted aluminum frame. You're gonna have that articulating hitch. It's gonna be a really good off-road, off-grid capable trailer, but you can save a penny and go with this suspension. It's very, very good, very cool. Now I want to talk about the upgraded suspension that you can get on the Reboot, and that's over on the unit right here. And of course this, we've been to the factory, we saw these at the tours. Now this independent shear spring suspension that I'm talking about, they've actually been using that suspension on fifth wheels for like, I think they said like 30 plus years, or a similar type of suspension. So very good. This suspension is pretty innovative, it's pretty new, built by MORryde. Only thing in the world like this. The only other thing that you could possibly compare it to is maybe a brooder. We had a brooder here not too long ago. We were measuring the lift on the suspension. That thing had like 9 inches of lift, 9 or 10 inches of lift. I can't remember exactly what it was, but this has 11.5 inches, just under 12 inches of travel. It is crazy how well this will travel down the road. You have dual Bilstein shocks on each arm. So this is an independent A-arm suspension that goes up and down. Every single one of these wheels is lifting independent of each other on airbags with total of 8 shocks, 4 airbags. The airbags were ever to go out, it would come down onto a rubber bump stop and you could still tow it out with no issues. It does have an onboard air compressor, and that allows you to be able to, you know, air up your tires. Right here you can see there's an air chuck right there. Also, I showed earlier in the storage area that there was an air tank. So that air tank will pressure up, and then you'll be able to use air from there. That also airs the bags up. When you're looking at optioning the units and upgrading, it's not just the suspension. You also get that onboard air compressor with the air tank, and then you have the chocks to be able to air up your tires or air up bicycles or, you know, a raft or whatever. So it's kind of a multifaceted. You get multiple things in the upgrade when you do the upgrades. If you go with the base suspension, you'll get the workhorse, and it is an all-terrain opposed to a mud terrain, and it's not the Duratrack. Exact same size rim and tire size. This is also a load range E tire, which is very important. So they're both great tires. This one's just not quite as aggressive as the other one. Now every single pause, whether it's the Reboots or the other models, they all have an incredible underbelly protection to all of their water tanks. Of course, the tanks are insulated. They have heat pads on them. If you get the Four Seasons, you get heat forced air down into there. But more than anything else is you have that aluminum underbelly protection. So if you know you're not going to get a rock that bounces up there and hits something, you're going to have all that body armor and protection from things while you're off-roading. Another cool thing about these units is they do have the Lippert quick drop stabilizers. It comes with a tool to be able to wind this down, but essentially you pull a lever, this will drop down, and then you can actually tighten it up, and that's to stabilize the entire trailer. If you have the airbag system, you would level it side to side with the air, and then you drop those down and stabilize the trailer. When you get to camp, obviously you level front to back with the front electric tongue jack. Super easy to do, really convenient to be able to have an electric front tongue jack. If you went with this suspension, you would drive it up on, they have those blocks that are leveling blocks. Of course, the air suspension, you just press the button and level it when you get to camp. So it's definitely more convenient. Another convenience besides the leveling ability is also the awning, and this is going to be on both of the units. Doesn't matter whether you get the base or the fully loaded, you're going to get this awning, and it is an electric awning. I'll press the button right here. It is made by Carefree, and this is a little bit different than other awnings I've seen, but there's actually a post here in the middle, and it's really cool is because that creates a little bit of a pitch, which generally you don't actually see that on most awnings. So a lot of times water, snow will settle up there and it just weighs the whole entire awning down. Cool little extra that you don't see a lot. And then of course you have your main light right out here, and also an amber light, so you can sit under your awning in the nighttime and not get attacked by bugs if you use the colored yellow light. And then just by the press of a button, you're able to retract this awning back in. Quick tip, you never want to leave camp with your awning left out, because a big major gust of wind comes out of nowhere, can rip it off, and that's not covered under warranty. That's called user error. So you know you've been warned. Now another thing that I want to showcase is these stairs. These stairs are pretty sweet stairs, and they are made by MORryde. As you can see, that's automatic. It continues to go in after you press it. The thing that I really like about these stairs by MORryde is they lift up completely out of the way, and they go in and they hide inside. And of course, while you're off-roading, you're never gonna knock off your stairs. Look at that. Look how much clearance you have in here. It's crazy how much clearance there is. Holy crap. There's a lot of clearance. there's a lot of clearance under this trailer, in case you didn't know. Another cool thing about these steps is the old steps. If you ever have seen these MORryde steps, you used to have to pull out these little pins, and they were super annoying to sometimes set up to get to the right height. This one has a little lever right here, and you just push this lever and they just lock in. So when you drop it down, see it's a little bit low, so you just grab that lever, and it drops right down, locked in, easy peasy. You're ready to go camping, put your awning out, and there you have it. Okay, check this thing out. Here we have it. I want to talk a little bit about the construction. We've already mentioned the frame built by MORryde, all aluminum, huck riveted. We've talked about the suspension. We've talked about the hitches, the walls. Now, I haven't been to the factory to see these ones exactly. I've seen the other pauses. You can go check out those factory tours. Very impressive what they're doing there. These are a little bit different. I've mentioned already about fiberglass. There's no wood in this wall. It's actually an Azdel backing. So it's a kind of composite material that they put the fiberglass onto. Generally, historically, the most premium coaches in the United States have been using the Azdel. Nowadays, more and more people are using it because there's been so much issue with wood, rotting, molding, delaminating. The Azdel stuff is incredible. Do some research on that. You can look it up. Josh, the RV nerd, he's done some videos on the Azdel, sticking them in water, seeing how long and they just pretty much last forever. So you have a fiberglass exterior wall. This was with that gloss. Over here on this unit, you can get the tan, and this is more of a matte, but it is also fiberglass. So you have the choice between those options. Behind the fiberglass and the Azdel, you do have a barrier. This is kind of a shield for insulation and also to prevent condensation. It's a new way of constructing units. Previously, over the years, essentially what they would do is there would be an aluminum stud, and it is a welded aluminum skeleton in there. And the difference between this and most standard trailers is most trailers are going to have an aluminum stud, and then they're going to put the fiberglass directly onto the stud. And the issue with this is that generally when it gets cold or hot, you have condensation, and the fiberglass is the only thing that's preventing, that's protecting you from that cold weather. So essentially, as soon as the cold weather would go through the fiberglass, it hits the stud, and then it just becomes, it conducts right through into your trailer. And generally on the inside of most trailers is just a thin piece of paneling, wood paneling, right? Nothing. So you just have hot and cold transferring right through that trailer. What Pause has done is behind the fiberglass skin, there's about a 1/2 inch barrier of insulation that goes all the way down the entire length of the wall. It's a one-piece wall that's all laminated together through a machine. So on the inside of that, you have that barrier of insulation, and then beyond that insulation barrier, you have the aluminum stud that's welded, and then in between each stud, you have high-density foam insulation. And then on the inside, instead of wood paneling, you have a fiberglass with an Azdel backing as well. So I actually have a sample of the wall, and it's very cool to be able to see this wall. So this is an example of this unit because that has that matte finish. But on the interior, you also have a fiberglass. Exterior's fiberglass. Now you can see it's pretty thick. You're about 1/4 inch of fiberglass and then Azdel. And then you also have that fiberglass Azdel on the inside, and it's about the same thickness on the inside and outside, which is not as common. Some trailers, they use an FRP, which is a fiberglass infused plastic, and the thickness of it is almost like a debit card. It's crazy. But this is kind of what I was explaining about how there's a barrier along the entire wall of the trailer. So it's kind of hard because essentially the way this wall is built, it would be like this, but this is the edge, the very end of it, and then you have these smaller studs throughout, and this is not this distance. This is just an example of the wall. This full stud is all the way at the very end of the trailer. So the whole length of the trailer, you have this barrier, and then you have these smaller studs in here, and this is all assembled together and bonded together. But you can see that that protective cover is the insulation. It's creating a barrier from the exterior opposed to hitting the aluminum immediately. And that's along the entire length of the wall. The roof is similar, but it's actually a little bit thicker. It's a radius roof, so there's an arc to it, or a bow, so the water will run off, and that actually allows for a thicker roof and more insulation. And also this barrier is on the exterior because obviously the cold is going to hit and you want to prevent it from hitting the studs immediately. But on the inside, on the roof, that barrier is inside because your heat rises and it's going to hit that barrier, and it's not going to go straight through the studs and out, and you're going to lose all your heat. So that is the wall construction. Also somewhat the roof construction, minus the roof is thicker and with a little bit of a arc to it. Another thing that's very important about these walls, when they come together, this metal aluminum extrusion does not actually go all the way through the trailer. This is just an exterior extrusion. So these meet at a joint, the walls meet at a joint inside here, and then they actually use a tape that's called an Eternabond. It's like and this stuff is like crazy. It's Eterna. It's like the idea of it lasts for eternity. And that's why they call it Eternabond, because it essentially creates a bond or a seal that is almost impossible to peel back. Once you put that, I've used this stuff, I've seen this stuff before. Once you put it on something, essentially it's destroyed. Like if you put it on something, there's no peeling it off. It's stuck to whatever you put it to. So they actually put this Eternabond in here, and then they put the extrusion over it and just covering this. This is actually not going all the way through. And that's really important because if this aluminum was going into the interior, there would be essentially a bridge or a conducting material that would go straight inside into the trailer. So the trailers are very well insulated. I know we've talked with Maynard about getting them out, testing, kind of the warm weather's getting warmer, but I've been in it, running the air conditioner, running the heat, and the inside of the box is very, very comfortable. Now, as far as the floor, a lot of times you wonder, what's the floor made of? Is it plywood? You don't want plywood. It's not plywood. It's actually a composite. It's a transcore composite material. It's the same material that's used on all of the pauses across the line. This is a high density composite material that is the nearly indestructible material. We've had sledgehammers trying to hit it and break it. The density is very, very high, and so they're very good for thermal protection, so you're not going to have a lot of heat and cold transferring through, but it also is completely waterproof. It's never going to rot like wood. So if you were to do river crossings, you wouldn't have to worry about water getting splashed up there or any grime getting up there and deteriorating the wood or rotting it away. Now, speaking of more insulation, these windows are very well insulated. They are a dual pane. It's a polycarbonate window. A lot of people ask, well, why Why plastic? That's what polycarbonate is essentially. It's a type of plastic, but not glass. Well, glass is more brittle. If you're off-roading, you have a rock fly up, a tree branch hits you. If you're out playing with the kids and they're throwing baseballs, you know, and the baseball hits the window and it's glass, it's going to shatter. That's what glass does generally, right? Shatters when things get thrown at it. So polycarbonate, in the same diameter as glass, it's a 250 times stronger as far as break resistance goes. So as far as an off-road camper or trailer, polycarbonate windows are king. Yachts are going to use a type of a polycarbonate or acrylic blend. Airplanes, jets, bulletproof windows are generally some type of polycarbonate or acrylic. So yes, they do have a polycarbonate. They also open up, they have night shades, they have very fine screens for mosquitoes not to be able to come in. Very well put together screen. I want to talk about the ladder. I love having a ladder because the reality is you do want to sometimes get up there to check your roof, inspect it. Also, the solar panels get dirty from time to time and you want to get up there and wipe them down at your own risk. Be careful when you're climbing on the roof. But when you get up there and clean everything off, you will notice at the top you have a rack that goes all the way around the trailer. What's really important about that rack is it's not just for looks. It actually elevates off the roof and all of the solar panels are attached to it, so they're elevated off the roof, and it just creates a little bit more rigidity to the whole entire structure of the trailer. And also you can see they've CNC'd little paws emblems all the way across it. It's very cool, very neat. I love the attention to detail. And there you have it. That is not every single detail, but hopefully added some value to you. And we kind of touched a lot of the construction and how the pause is made. Really phenomenally built trailer, and everything that Pause has been doing has just been blowing my mind. I've been amazed with them every time I go to visit the factory. I've been out there multiple times now, and I never walk away unimpressed. It's always amazing what they're doing, and they're really pushing to change the industry, and I'm grateful that we're a part of that. I want to go over some last little details in the spec area, and then we'll close this out. Okay, for all you guys out there that want to know the specs, and maybe everybody needs to know this because they got a truck and they got to determine what they can tow it with. They're extremely towable. I've towed these at highway speeds in F-150s, Toyota Sequoias or Toyota Tundras, and 2500s, and flown down the highway. Been really impressed with how they're balanced and how well they tow. Obviously, all the batteries are right over the wheel wells, which is a lot of weight. A lot of the electrical components are over the wheel wells. The refrigerator right here is above the wheel well. So the balance of everything is very good, and that's really important when you're talking about towing. And as far as towing goes, your tongue weight is around 645 pounds. Now there's a few little different options, so that's gonna come in with a little bit of variance depending on the options you choose. The actual weight, the gross vehicle weight rating is just over 8,500 pounds. Every single unit at the Pause factory is weighed before it leaves the factory. So you can actually go and look at this stamp right on the trailer and it will tell you what the dry weight is. And right here you see this unit is 7,164 pounds and it's 24 feet long. Now you might be saying, wait, I've heard it was a lot lighter. Remember, this is a fully loaded Reboot. So that's the suspension, all of the batteries, and you have a bunch of different options in batteries. This unit right here is more base, and if you come over here, you can see this one comes in at 5,950 pounds, under 6,000 pounds for a 24-foot trailer. That's phenomenal. With independent suspension, made for off-road. Now, of course, there are options as far as specs go on your solar, your battery array. This unit right here has the base battery, which is a 270 amp hour lithium battery by Battleborn and 200 watts of solar on the roof. If you want to go all the way to the max, there's 3 different packages. There's base, which is what I just mentioned, and then there's a second option, which is 540 amps of lithium, or you can go all the way maxed out at 1,080 amp hours of lithium, and that adds quite a bit of weight, but it's pretty amazing. The solar array on the roof of that is going to be 800 watts on the roof with 600 watts of briefcase panels to put out for a total of 1400 watts, which is unbelievable. Speaking about power, we do have a 30 amp shore power, and that goes through your Victron system, and that's how you're going to be able to charge your batteries if you are plugged in or running a generator. Another spec that's really important to know is your capacities on your tank. You have your water. Your water is a 65-gallon freshwater tank. Your black tank is 30 and your gray tank is 30. If you come down here, you can see this is your outlets right here, your black and gray outlets to be able to drain all of your goodies. So last of all, the other measurements on the trailer from end to end is 24 feet long. The body length is 19 foot and 11 inches. The height of the trailer is 10 feet, 9 inches. So it's not gonna fit in a 10-foot garage. You'll have to have a larger garage. Your body width is 90 inches and your total width, this would be your wheel wells and everything, would be 102 inches wide. And of course, that's why the inside of it is so much more spacious than a lot of the off-road trailers you've seen on the market. This trailer is truly like one of the most comfortable trailers we have as far as space goes on the inside. If you are looking at full-timing, living, you know, which we don't recommend, trailers are not made or designed to be lived in, is what the manufacturer will always tell you. But if you are gonna be cross-country traveling or staying in for a long time, this trailer is gonna be very, very comfortable, from the insulation to the overall storage and the width and the size. It's a very, very nice, well thought out trailer. One of my favorite floor plans personally, and that is just my opinion and my take on it. Very beautiful trailer. I love the fiberglass. I love the sleekness of it and the coloring of it. And there you have it. That is the Reboot by Paz and Palomino. Incredible. I cannot speak enough to the team at Paz and them, what they've been doing and creating. I feel very fortunate to be involved and part of it. I definitely feel like I've been involved a lot with this trailer with Maynard. He's really listened to the feedback here at ROA, and the feedback from ROA is from you, because we reach out to the public, to the people that tune in and watch our videos and follow us. We listen to you, we ask you, and then we tell that to Paz, and then they make these trailers for you. And it's pretty incredible, the amount of things that they have brought to market in just a short amount of time since they've released their very first Paz off-road trailer. And the future is bright with Paz, so incredible company to work with, and we really thank them. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Hopefully you learned something new. I know there's things that I missed, things that I left out. Make comments below and will answer those questions. Maybe we'll eventually do a video. Stay tuned. Also, we have a really cool adventure series out on YouTube, probably already out by now, and more coming out soon, where we actually are going out with the manufacturer, with Maynard, with the manufacturer Moride and Daryl, their reps, came out and saw these trailers in action in Moab to see what they've created out in the wild, and it's pretty incredible. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.